How do you break into the software development profession if you don't have a computer science degree? Okay, let's say your academia background is in accounting or finance, right? Or you graduated with a journalism degree or a history degree. Is it possible for a student with that educational background to break into the software development career? And the answer is absolutely. Okay, just the number of jobs that are out there they're exploding. Okay, there's so much demand and not enough supply. So in an environment like that, it's certainly possible. As a matter of fact, I'm a personal living example of someone that does not have a computer science degree, but was able to acquire those skills after graduation. Okay, I graduated college almost 15 years ago with an accounting degree, and with just 3 months of self-study, I got a software development job. And back then, there were plenty of jobs, but now, trust me, there's so many more jobs, okay, and so many more opportunities, so many different areas to get into, okay? So I'm gonna highlight some of these things on the whiteboard and hopefully give you a good understanding of the overall landscape of IT and what you can do to break into the software development career, okay? So let's get started. In my opinion, there are three major areas in IT that you can focus on. Okay, one of these three. It's hard to focus on all three of these areas at the same time, but let's start with the first elephant in the room, the obvious path, and that is a software developer. Okay, let's write that here, software dev, and hopefully you can see this. I know there's a glare on the whiteboard, so excuse me, I just have some overexposure from the light. But the software dev track, in my opinion, is a challenging track for someone that does not have a computer science degree, because it requires you to know a couple of different programming languages, maybe one or two. The most popular ones are Java and Python. Another very popular one is PHP. And then a candidate would also need to have some understanding of the overall landscape of technology, understand front end, understand back end. So they would need to know a little bit of HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript, and maybe a little bit of databases. I'm just going to draw a database here. All right, so the breadth of knowledge for this path is pretty wide. Okay, you'd need to know a lot of things. So if you would like to get into the software development path, but you're not a computer science major, I would recommend to start on a different path. This could be your eventual destination. This could be your goal. This is what happened to me. I started from a different area in technology, and then I transitioned into this area over time. And you could do the same thing. And I've seen so many people. I've got so many examples of people doing this back then as well as right now. Okay, so this is one path, in my opinion. If you don't have a computer science background, it will take about 2 years of hard work to learn this stuff on your own, and then hopefully be in a position to land a job. Okay, the coding boot camps are great, but you need to have some prerequisite knowledge in some of these areas if you want to avail that knowledge. Okay, so this takes time. A better track for someone that doesn't have a computer science degree, in my opinion, is the database track, and I'm going to write that down here. Database. Because this is a focused area in technology, and data is key. Data is every company's it's one of the largest assets every company has. Very important, especially with what's going on nowadays with Facebook. Data is key. It's huge, and databases is where the data is stored. So what you could do is become a database expert in a language called SQL. Okay. This language is the primary language used to interact with databases. So you just need to learn one language, and it's not even a programming language, so to speak. It's actually a data interaction language. I've got 2 courses on this topic. So if you take both of those courses, you should be in pretty good shape with the SQL language. Along with the SQL language, you can also learn a reporting tool, such as Tableau. And Tableau nowadays is huge. There's so many job openings with Tableau and data analysis. So with this combination, the SQL and Tableau combination, you're employable. How long does this track take? For someone that can invest 6 hours a day, every day for about 3 months, that's all that's required. So 3 months, I'd say give 2 months for SQL, and invest 6 hours a day every day into SQL, master that technology, and then learn maybe for 1 month, invest in Tableau, and you've got it made. You're employable, okay? Believe it or not, a lot of people are doing this. You don't need a computer science degree for this, okay? So this, in my opinion, is the lowest barrier of entry into the software developer profession. Eventually, once you're comfortable here, you can always transition to this field. A lot of people do this, including myself and so many people that I've seen. I've got so many examples. Okay, so this could be your eventual destination if you want to build mobile apps, websites, desktop applications. You can learn to do that on the weekends when you're employed here. Okay, don't graduate college and sit for 1 year trying to learn this stuff. Get your foot in the door after 3 months of practice. Get your foot in the door in a database developer role, because guess what? You're still a developer. You could be developing reports and using the SQL language and then slowly transition into this, okay? So 2 paths so far. The third path is the admin path. And this is also a great, lucrative field, but in my opinion, it's for countries like India or, basically any country that is not the United States or Canada. United States and Canada outsource administrator jobs. And the hottest topic within this domain is AWS. Okay, AWS, Amazon Web Services. This is another thing you could choose, okay? This will take maybe a year to get really comfortable with, because there's a lot of new development that's going on in AWS, and you should understand, you should have a certain breadth of knowledge, and that will take time to learn. But it's a very lucrative career, and there's plenty of opportunities. But in my opinion, if you're in the US, this is probably the fastest way to get your foot in the door, and probably the most lucrative way, okay? As soon as you graduate college, 3 months of hard work in this area could land you a well-paying job, well over $70,000, $80,000, and after 2 to 3 years, you can transition to either one of these roles, okay? So with that being said, hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. You can always email me at imtiaz@jobreadyprogrammer.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.